Alright, I'm going to show you how we make this cage from start to finish. Now the first place to start off is with the templates, and we use the templates to make sure the fit is exactly like the customer wants it to be. Now I want to match that roof line and sneak it right past the seat and the door seam. So we're going to have to roll form the top hoop in order to match the roof line. And this is really difficult to do because you can't just trial and fit this, and the templates are perfect because they help create that reference that you need. That angle finder there helps us keep everything in line so that way we don't twist the hoop, and as we bend the hoop we compare it to our template to make sure it's good. Now this piece right here is where the tube goes along the seat, and we're going to add that curve at the end to reduce the amount of cope. As we're forming the tube, we're using the templates to mark where all of our bends are going to go and to also trim off any excess. You can see here I'm figuring out how much material to remove and to make space for the bolt-in joints. We need to use the bolt-in joints because the cage cannot easily go in and out of the vehicle and we want to paint it, so that's why we're doing that. And you can see the fit turned out perfect. We just love that. Now this cope right here is not a standard cope, and you'll see here in a little bit how we deal with that. First thing we do is we get the angle measurement and we cut the first piece. First piece was a standard 45-degree cope. Get it trimmed up and fitted, and then we're going to use that as a guide for the tracer. There's lots of ways to do this, but the tracer can be used just like you see here. The tube that we have there sets the position, and then the tracer then gets pushed up against the tube that you want to cope to. And that's how we get the pins in position. Now look at this. This is the difference between what a standard notch looks like and what we have to make. And so now we just trace it with a Sharpie and cut it back with a grinder and then check our results to make sure it's what we want. And there it is. Perfect. So now we're going to go back in the car and tack weld it in place. Don't you just love that? It's a perfect fit. Kevin uses a Sharpie mark to keep track of rotation. He pulls that piece back out and then puts some tack welds on it. A lot of parts move around on you on the table, and this universal tab positioner can be used to hold things in place. And you'll see this do that quite a bit. Now the shoulder bar needs a back set. If we don't do that, it'll go right across your shoulders and your neck, and it'd be very uncomfortable. So after you cut it and fit it, you put one template on top of the other and trace it to make a copy. And that's how we did a left and a right. We added a little bit of extra straight section in, trim off the excess, tape it together, and that's how we got it to fit. Now we just put that on the floor, and that's what we have to make. Same thing as usual, use the measurements on the templates to guide the overall length, the bending, and then the trimming. Make it fit. You can see right there we're holding it in place with our magnet tools. Tack weld it. Let's put a couple of brackets in for these seat belts. The seat belts came with some brackets already, and we just cut those up and recycled them. Now here's a good example of using those tab positioners to hold an awkward part. This is a really good example of how to use the Stringline tool to be professional with all of your work. Making these tabs in a straight line is a nice touch, and really only the customer is going to appreciate that because it's going to get hidden behind the seats, but it's a good way to be professional in your work. We finished welding it and added paint, and the final touch, a placard. Let's put it in and see how it looks. There's those bolt-in brackets we installed earlier. Really like those a lot. After the straps are in, we got to put the seat in. Now this seat is the original seat. It just got reupholstered. It looks very nice. The brown and black has a good look to it. Adds some nice contrast. And there it is. We're really happy about how it fits, and so is the customer. And if you guys want to see us do more stuff like this, let me know in the comment section what vehicle you want us to do next. Also, we do sponsor builds, so if you want to see your vehicle in our shop, head to the website and apply.